As a lawyer who's handled medical malpractice cases in New York, you learn one thing very quickly. Unfortunately, in this country, the practice of medicine has become a business. And too many people don't get the care that they're supposed to get. And it's not only doctors who do something wrong. Very often it's endemic to the system. It's part of our system. You have hospitals that can't handle the load. And I had a case once, and I'm convinced to this day, it was a case involving a child who was brain damaged at birth. And I'm convinced to this day that that occurred because the hospital was just too busy and didn't have an experienced doctor on the floor to make the decisions that had to be made regarding the delivery of that child. I handled that case for many years. What was interesting about it to me, and something that, you know, maybe it's important why clients should think of this firm, is what we did when we handled that case. Because back then, this firm was a different kind of firm. And we didn't do our own medical malpractice. We allowed other attorneys to do it. And we brought in people who I considered experts. The reason, by the way, that I did that is back then, I didn't consider us great yet at medical malpractice. And I wasn't going to do it unless I was great at it. So I gave it out to people who I considered great. And no one wanted the case. Everybody told me there's no case here. And I just looked at it and I said, something's wrong, that can't be right. It's just not right. I took the case, I handled it myself. We went through all the discovery, and I remember we got to a point actually where it was time to find a doctor to come into court to testify. And I was having the darndest time. I couldn't get a doctor to testify. I finally found one doctor that was willing to be helpful, but not in the specialty I needed, and he helped me find another doctor. And eventually the case did come to court, and I got the client a very nice settlement. I remember why I actually got that case settled. I was standing there in the courthouse, and the lawyer was coming up to me and arguing with me. They didn't want to settle the case with me. And I turned to them, and I just looked at them, and I said to them, listen, I've been preparing this case for years. You really don't want to get me started. You really don't want to get me started. This child is brain damaged. And make no mistake about it, at the end of this trial, I am going to win. Make no mistake about it. And I went on and I was talking to them, and I was talking to them about the kid. And I had only seen her once because it was so difficult to bring her into the office, but I had a very vivid recollection. And as I was talking to the lawyer about it and about how horrible this child's life is, I started to look down and my eyes started to well up a little with tears. I didn't cry, but you could see the glaze come over my eyes. And the lawyer looked at me, he left, and 2 hours later, they paid the money.